Hi guys, welcome. So this is the first video for the astrology. People that want to learn astrology. Astrology is so complicated and there is so much to learn. It's overwhelming, especially if you know nothing. So if you're somebody that's just like, well, I know that I'm a Pisces, but I don't know anything else. It can be very intimidating. It also can be intimidating if you only know like a little bit, and then all of a sudden, like somebody's throwing things at you, like trines and oppositions, and it gets very complicated. So I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. Keep these videos nice and short and very simple. Obviously, we can go much deeper, but I'm just going to give you little points so that you can start to memorize what they mean, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So I'll try to keep them as simple as possible until we get to where we need to be, where it becomes a little bit more natural, because it can be very overwhelming. And I have been studying this my entire life, and I still sometimes have to look things up. My suggestion is, if you don't know something and you need to Google something, Google it a couple of times and see what resonates with you, because not everything is going to resonate. Sometimes you may not agree with something, or it might not feel right. So Google it a couple of times. Nothing wrong with looking things up. Okay, so I'm going to break this down as simple as possible. If you've never seen an astrology chart, you can do them for free. You can do a free one. But it looks like a pizza, only it has 12 houses. Instead of 8 pieces, it's got 12 pieces. At 9 o'clock, that's your first house. At 3 o'clock is the 7th house. So we're just going to talk about these bottom houses for today. That's it. And I don't have a chart because I don't think that you can see it. I was going to draw a chart, but maybe I'll do that. I'll have that for the next one. I did draw a chart. It's just, look, this is what it looks like. It doesn't matter. This is what the chart would look like. And then this would be the first house. So this would be house 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes the houses aren't cut perfect, meaning sometimes you could have 2 signs in one house. We'll get to that at another point. Right now, we're just going to go simple, very simple. So the first house is the house of self. This is where your ascendant is, also known as the rising sign. That is the face that you show the world. It's who you are, but it's who you show people. So, we have all these insecurities, and we have all of these masks that we wear to get through life. Like, for example, when I worked for A&P, they had a spiel that they wanted you to answer the telephone. Thank you for calling the A&P, where we've got the freshest produce available. How can I? A big spiel. And I was like, listen, ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, hello, A&P. But anyway, that would be the face. Like, people did answer the phone like that. Not because they wanted to, not because they really believed that the produce was freshest, but it was because they were told to. That was the face that they had to show the rest of the world. So that's what the first house is. It's new beginnings. It's who you are. It's what you'll become. It's oftentimes your personality. It rules early childhood. And the first house is ruled by Aries because it's the first sign of the zodiac. And the ruling planet for Aries is Mars. So if you learn nothing else about the first house, you learn that it's the house of self. It's the face you show the world. It's ruled by Aries, which is ruled by Mars. Okay, we'll get to that at another point. Second house. Second house is your personal finances. It's material possessions. It could also be your self-esteem. Some people feel that self-worth, like, in order for them to feel worthy, they need to have a lot of money. It's a good thing for me that I'm not one of those people. But it could also be your self-worth in the second house. It's earned income. It's money that you work for. It's ruled by Taurus, and the planet is Venus. So that's more of like earned income, material possessions, my house, my car, my fancy designer clothes, that kind of stuff. Expensive makeup, expensive perfume, second house. The third house is the house of communication, transportation, local community, building relationships between neighbors, classmates, siblings. All of that is found in the third house. It's ruled by Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by the planet Mars. Fourth house is the house of family. It's ruled by Cancer, and the planet is the moon. So Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, and that's basically what the fourth house is. It's loving, nurturing, kind. It's where you, what we hope is nurturing, kind, depending on your chart. You could have aspects in there that prove otherwise. But that house is like where you put down roots. It's the house of home. It's private, nurturing, caring, and someplace where you should feel like it's my sanctuary. It's where I go to kind of retreat. House of home. Ruled by Cancer, which is ruled by the planet, the moon. Fifth house is ruled by the sun and Leo. Now the sun is, the sun gives us life. It's vibrant. It's, Leo tends to be very outgoing. It's also more of like the father. It has a little bit more of a masculine feel to it, whereas the fourth house is a little bit more feminine and nurturing. The fifth house is a little bit more male and strong. It's creativity, pleasure, joy. It's pure, true love. It's romantic love, but it's not always committed relationship. So the fifth house could be like the butterflies, the falling in love, that kind of a feel, but it's not necessarily something that's going to turn into a relationship. Sometimes it could be unrequited love. But where it happens, it starts in the fifth house. When it gets to where it's got to go, it goes to the seventh house. And that's where you get your committed relationship. This is friendship, parties, children. It's creativity. So your children are also found in the fifth house. It also could be self-respect and confidence. It's a very creative house. So anything that deals with creativity would be found in the fifth house. If you're a very artistic person or if you love to create things. It's also children. So you find your children in the fifth house. I mean, these houses, like, they have a lot. There's a lot that go into each house. So, it's not so cut and dry. It's like you could be romantically in love or infatuated with someone. You also have your children here. You also have creative projects here. So there's a lot that fits into one house, which is why it's so hard to, so much information to absorb. The sixth house, it's ruled by Virgo and Mercury. Mercury rules Virgo. This is health. It's physical health, mental health, emotional health. It's also wellness, daily routines, and your career. Career, job, responsibilities, pets, that kind of stuff. And your physical health, physical fitness, hygiene, that kind of stuff. Now, second house is earned income, but the sixth house is career. So you could be earning a lot of money at like a regular job, and then you could have like the career and earned income can be two different things, right? Or sometimes we haven't gotten there yet. So sometimes people change careers several times throughout their life. That's sixth house. Earned income is the money you bring in, which is in the second house, or that's what we look at. So far we've just done the first six houses, and we're going to stop here. First house, house of self. Second house, house of earned income, material wealth. Third house, house of siblings, neighbors, communication. Fourth house, house of home. Fifth house, house of true love, creativity, and children. Sixth house is your career, daily routines, and your health. Every house has an opposite, and we'll do the opposite houses in the next video. So hopefully I think that was simple enough. And then we'll go through the 7 through 12 houses, and then I'll start going through the different planets. So I hope that made sense, and stay tuned for the next video. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.